The NBA Finals Game 5 just flipped the script on everything. Seriously.
Oh, completely. It was not.
Oklahoma City Thunder versus Indiana Pacers. It wasn't just basketball. It felt more like war out there.
Absolutely. Elbows flying, coaches losing it on the sidelines.
Yeah, and you saw stars either totally rise to the occasion or, frankly, just collapse under all that pressure.
It was intense. You could feel it, even through the screen.
And after last night, June 16th, 2025, you gotta wonder, are we watching the end of an era? Maybe the start of a new dynasty?
It feels that big, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The Thunder, wow, they just put on a clinic.
A total masterclass. But here's the question. Was it a real dominant win? Or does it maybe show something broken about the league right now?
That's the deeper question, yeah. Lots to unpack there.
Let's dive into this Game 5 breakdown. No filters, no fluff. Just, what really happened.
Let's do it.
Okay, so let's set the stage real quick. Coming into this game, the finals were tied up 2-2.
Right. Even series.
Yeah.
Everything on the line.
And it's been this amazing matchup, right? OKC, the league's most electric, young, kind of up-and-coming team.
Yeah, against the Pacers, who nobody, and I mean nobody, saw coming out of the East. The real dark horse.
But Game 5? Man, it just felt different. You felt it too, right?
Oh, yeah. The energy in that building, it was palpable. Louder, definitely.
The refs seemed, tighter. From the jump, the stakes just felt life or death.
It had that legacy game feel from the opening tip.
Exactly. This wasn't just another game. It felt like a statement game, the kind that defines careers.
No doubt.
So, our mission today, let's unpack it all. The key moments, the strategy, brilliant or baffling, the collapses.
Yeah, we probably got to touch on some of the controversies, too.
For sure. And figure out what this huge game means for the future of the NBA.
Sounds good. It's fascinating how one game can just swing the whole narrative,
Totally. This wasn't just OKC winning. It felt like they dismantled Indiana.
Right. It wasn't just execution, it was the plan. It suggests they came in knowing exactly how to pick the Pacers apart. On the road, too.
Surgical, savage. Felt like the future. That's what I kept thinking. Coach Deng-Yu.
Yeah.
Wow.
He deserves a ton of credit.
His blueprint for Game 5, it was like he had an x-ray of Indiana's flaws and just attacked. What stood out strategically for you?
Well, it wasn't just about stopping the Pacers,
Yeah.
right? It was how they exploited the weaknesses. Like Indiana tends to overhelp. Boom, skip pass, open three. Or they struggle with switches on screens.
And Shai just ate that alive.
Oh, Shai was relentless, just ruthless, efficient, cold-blooded. He wasn't just getting buckets. He was like a surgeon dissecting their defense.
His decision-making in the pick and roll, just next level.
Exactly. Read the defense perfectly, attack, hit Holmgren rolling, kick out. Always the right play against that soft hedge they were playing.
And it wasn't just Shai, though. That's the scary part for Indiana. Chet Holmgren. He finally looked like that unicorn everyone talks about.
Yes. That blend of rim protection, shooting, he was everywhere.
Altering shots, owning the paint, and Miles Turner just looked lost, trying to guard him out on the perimeter.
Turner couldn't handle the versatility. Chet, pulling him away from the basket, opened up everything for SGA's drives.
And defensively, his length just messes things up inside for Indiana.
Totally disruptive. And then you have Jalen Williams. J-Dub.
The ultimate X factor. I keep saying he's the most slept-on two-way guy in the league.
He really might be. Turning defense into instant offense. It's like his superpower. His hands, his reads, transition buckets all night.
His energy on both ends just changes the game.
Undeniable impact.
So yeah, the Thunder didn't just play better, they thought better, they ran faster. They just wanted it more. It was suffocating.
A complete performance, which, brings us to the other side of the coin.
Oh boy. The Pacers. A total collapse, live on national TV.
It really makes you question their mental toughness in that spot. And look, this is where it gets kind of controversial.
You're talking Haliburton.
Yeah. Tyrese Haliburton. The engine, the star.
Yeah.
He just vanished. Poof. Gone.
When they needed him most, was it the pressure, OKC's defense? Was he just tired?
Maybe all of the above.
Yeah.
But whatever the reason, a superstar can't disappear like that in Game 5 of the finals.
Yeah.
He just didn't show up.
It's harsh, but it's true. That was supposed to be his moment, and
Right.
he was quiet.
Yeah.
And Miles Turner.
Oof. Yeah. He looked like he forgot it was the finals. Out-muscled, outrun. Holmgren just owned that matchup.
Completely lost out there sometime.
And then the coaching. Rick Carlisle. Man.
Looked like he was coaching in slow motion. Where were the adjustments?
Right. No defensive tweaks, no offensive creativity to stop the bleeding. It just felt like vibes. and they were bad vibes.
It's just bad vibes all around for Indiana. They look totally unprepared for that level of intensity.
Like a deer in headlights. Almost like they were shocked by OKC's physicality and couldn't adapt. It wasn't just losing, it was how they lost.
Okay, let's switch back to OKC, though. Let's talk Shai. SGA. 34 points, 8 assists, 6 boards, 3 steals. The stats are insane.
Insane numbers. But honestly, they don't even tell the whole story.
Not even close. His poise.
Unbelievable.
The decision-making, the swagger.
Yeah.
It was just undeniable. You can't teach that.
Nope. That was pure killer instinct, the kind the legends have. It's not just scoring, it's knowing when and how to just crush the other team's spirit.
Break their will. He totally controlled the game.
Seized it.
And you know the moment I'm thinking of? That step-back 3, fourth quarter. Haliburton defending him.
Oh yeah, had him on skates.
Leans back, splash, dagger. That was it. Game 5 belonged to Shai, right there. What did that specific play say to you?
It wasn't just the skill, right? It was the psychology. It felt like a direct challenge to Haliburton. Like SGA saying, I'm the alpha here.
Yeah, a declaration.
Exactly. It summed up the whole narrative.
Yeah.
The rising star fully arriving, taking over on the biggest stage. Huge confidence statement. Power shift.
And he's leading this youth movement. That's the other wild part. OKC is the youngest finals team in decades.
Youngest team, outplaying a veteran coach and a team that won the East. Let that sink in.
It points to a massive shift happening in the league, doesn't it?
Absolutely. You see guys like Cason Wallace coming off the bench.
Total dog on defense. Plays like a vet.
Relentless energy. And Josh Giddey, he gets criticism, but he ran that second unit really well. Great floor general.
Kept things steady when Shai sat. And Chet. We got to circle back to Chet. He looks like KD mixed with Gobert with a bit of Dirk's jumper.
It's a crazy combo. That size, that skill, the defense, it's just unique. It's what makes him so dangerous.
So here's the big, bold prediction. If OKC closes this out in Game 6, are we looking at the next NBA dynasty?
It's definitely on the table. Multiple titles, MVPs, a run that makes even the Warriors dynasty look, well, maybe not amateur, but you get the point.
A dominant run. But
okay,
we got to address the elephant in the room, the officiating. Again.
Sigh, yeah. The refs.
Yeah.
Was it bad? Yeah. It was pretty horrendous.
Definitely added fuel to the fire. You saw Indiana get hit with, 3 really ticky-tack fouls early?
Right. Changed their whole rotation, got guys in foul trouble. Yeah. Then on the other end,
SGA and Chet are getting hacked. Like, legit street ball muggings and crickets. Whistles swallowed.
There was that one drive by Shai, second quarter, obvious contact, no call. Then moments later, a Pacer gets whistled for way less. The inconsistency was glaring.
So the question is, bias, pressure, or is the league kind of nudging a certain storyline?
It's the uncomfortable question, isn't it?
Because, let's be honest, a young, exciting OKC team winning it all, that's marketing gold for the NBA.
Look, it raises questions. Whether there's truth to it or not, the optics weren't great. It feeds that skepticism about outside influence.
Definitely challenging optics. And that perceived difference in the calls. Huge talking point after the game.
No doubt. But okay, beyond the refs, let's go back to the players under pressure, specifically the guy who needed to step up for Indiana.
Which brings us back to the really tough question about Haliburton. Superstar, or just a really smart system player?
When you think about what superstars do in the finals, they don't just fade away, right? They fight. They impose their will.
Even when things are tough, yeah. They find a way.
And look, OKC's defense on him was suffocating. SGA, J-Dub, they were pests. But the absolute best guys figured out. Haliburton in Game 5, he looked more like, I don't know.
Steve Blake than Steph Curry. Is that too harsh?
Maybe a little harsh, but the point stands. Zero impact when it counted. Deferred too much. Settled. Looked almost afraid of the moment.
Yeah. Afraid isn't the right word maybe, but hesitant. Unsure.
Hesitant, yeah. Look, he's young, he's smart, high IQ player, no doubt. But if Indiana wants any chance in Game 6...
he needs to stop being the nice guy facilitator and start being a killer. He needs to demand the ball, take over.
Exactly. Dictate the terms even when it's hard, which, kind of brings us to the bigger picture here.
Right. This final series, it feels like more than just OKC versus Indiana.
It feels like a changing of the guard for the whole league.
Yeah. The style of play is shifting, isn't it? Away from the old school ISO ball.
Definitely. Towards this positionless, pace and space, heavy defensive pressure game. Youth, intensity, versatility.
And the Thunder. They are that shift. They embody it. Speed, defense, everyone can handle the ball.
Well, the Pacers, as good as they are offensively, maybe still feel a bit stuck in the past. Defensively, they struggled with OKC's style.
It really shows how the NBA is evolving. Adapt or get left behind.
Only the brave survive, right?
Yeah.
This series feels like that evolution playing out right in front of us.
So what happens now? Game 6 is massive. Huge.
If Indiana doesn't come out swinging, throwing the first punch, refocusing, this thing's over.
Gotta set the tone immediately. And if OKC does win it all in Game 6...
Then yeah, we are absolutely witnessing the birth of a potential juggernaut. Scary hours for the rest of the league.
Okay, so let me throw some questions out to you, listening right now. Think about this. Was that Game 5 performance the best we've ever seen from SGA? Or is this just the beginning?
Good question. And what about Haliburton? How much blame does he deserve for the Pacers just kind of folding under pressure?
Yeah, fair question. And maybe the biggest one, based on this series, is this Thunder team right now the future face of the entire NBA?
Lots to chew on there.
Definitely. Hey, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive.
Please do.
Because this finals series, it's not just writing history, feels more like a full-blown revolution.